Hi, and welcome to learning how to resize your image if you are a Mac user. So it's actually pretty simple. You open up an image and it automatically opens up in preview. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that so that we can see that. You can see there's the preview and the menu bar. And we're going to talk about a couple of different things. So one, how to actually make the size of the image smaller, and then also how you can crop it so that you can get it to the right ratio, so that it's more so that it's more of a landscape rather than a portrait, which is what this image is right now. So we're going to go ahead, go to the image. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Tools. And when you go down, you can see that adjust size is there. So it's pretty intuitive, that. And then it comes up and there's a couple of different ways that we can change the size. So one is we can literally change the dimensions of it. So we've got the width and the height. We can play with that. And then the other way you can do it is resolution. So depending on how you took the image, it may be in a larger resolution. 72 is probably the lowest we would want to go. And still maintain some integrity to the image. But if the picture you took came in at like 300 or 350, then you can certainly shrink the size of that image there as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play with the dimensions in order to get our image smaller. So when we look down at the bottom, let's see, we look down at the bottom here. You can see the image is at 100%. Right now it's 2.6 megabytes. We need to get it down to 500 kilobytes. So we've got a little ways to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm figuring I've got to drop the whole size by about, let's start with 50% and go from there. So I'm going to take my 42 inches and drop it down to, I'll just cut it in half and call it 21 inches. And then the width and the height are scaled proportionally, so when one changes, the other one changes as well. So the image stays in its original state. So now we've dropped down almost immediately to 902. So it's still a little bit high. I'm going to go to 20 inches and see what happens there. So now we're down to 860. But I'm going to stop there because I know I'm also going to crop this image, so it'll probably get a little bit smaller as well. And you can go ahead and tweak these numbers as often as you want. But we're going to go ahead and say OK. So you can see the image itself shrinks in its proportion. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and crop it so that I have less of a portrait view and more of a landscape view. So we go back up to Tools. And you go down and you've got flip, and then you come to crop. But you can see that crop is not activated. And the reason being is that you actually have to select that section first before you do the actual cropping. So we're going to go back to the image and you can see there's the cursor. And then when I click on it, all of a sudden it changes to a little plus sign. So I'm going to go down a little bit lower. I definitely want to get that beautiful sunlight in there. So we're going to go over there. And then we're going to select it. Want to make sure to keep her body in there. That looks pretty good. And then you release it and you go back up to Tools, and now you can see that crop is highlighted at this point. So we go ahead and we click on that, and then that image is now edited. So we go back up to Tools, and let's go to Adjust Size. And we're now down to 401. So we are well below where we need to get. At this point, we would simply have to say OK. And that image is now ready for uploading. Thanks for watching.